Jared, get up here. Jared's a very successful developer, and he just loves politics now. Jared is a very, very successful real estate entrepreneur in Manhattan.
Jared is a great young man, went to Harvard, very smart, great, doing a fantastic job in business. He's in the real estate business, done an amazing job in his own right, just incredible.
Well, long before conferring upon Jared Kushner the title of senior advisor to the president, his father-in-law, Donald Trump, praised him, as you saw, regularly on the campaign trail. Jared Kushner has now served a few days shy of 6 months with the most elaborate policy portfolio in the modern history of the presidency. He's been asked to streamline and overhaul the federal government, serve as the primary contact for more than 24 countries, reform veterans' care, solve the opioid epidemic, and come up with a plan to create lasting peace in the Middle East. And there are others. He has attracted a whole lot of attention, and not all of it good. The question being asked tonight is he an asset or a liability at this point in the presidency? With us tonight to talk about this, Rick Stengel, former Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs at the State Department, also the former managing editor of Time magazine. And Philip Rucker is back with us, White House Bureau Chief for The Washington Post. Philip, you're the closest to this of all of us. I'd like to begin by asking you to describe the Kushner-Trump relationship, and as a subset of that, do you believe with any seriousness we're looking at a possible loss of his security clearance?
Well, to describe the relationship, I mean, these two are family. Jared Kushner is the son-in-law, but he's also in some ways Trump's protege. He's risen up in Trump's field, real estate. He's now in Trump's new field, politics and policy. And he's really, you know, the advisor that I think the president turns to the most inside the White House when it comes to foreign policy. He almost functions as a shadow Secretary of State. He's taking the lead on the Middle East. He's taking the lead on the U.S. relationship with China. He's also taking the lead on the U.S. relationship with Mexico and Canada and trying to help renegotiate NAFTA, a very important trade deal. But he's in the Oval Office when he wants to. He comes and goes as he pleases. And of course, he and Ivanka have the president's ear in a way that other staff in the White House just don't.
Rick Stengel, no one has ever said our presidents aren't allowed their guy, their man or woman, comfort level, competence, someone close in, realizes the pressures and can get stuff done, as FDR had Harry Hopkins. But into your area, when it involves diplomacy, which still matters a lot to our allies overseas, that can be something different.
Yes. Now, there are some allies overseas, Brian, in the Gulf, for example, who understand that the son-in-law also rises. They are hereditary monarchies. They feel good with the president's son-in-law because they think he has the ear of the president. But the thing is, a lot of these issues are intractable. There's a reason they haven't been solved for a long time. You know, I'm told that Jared looks at the Middle East peace issue as a real estate issue. And yes, real estate is a part of it. But the point is, as President Obama says, you can't want it more than the negotiators want it. The fact is, you have to persuade people to take risks. Bibi, the Palestinians, and basically that isn't about real estate. That's about understanding the courage that it takes to make these kinds of deals that could potentially hurt you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.